What is up, hooligans? And happy freedom. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Hooligans, where we try to make the news suck a little less. I appreciate all of you guys being here. If you're over on Rumble, please hit that like button. More likes equals more hooligans. Oh man, did Rumble shit the bed last night? I don't think it's their fault. I'm trying not to blame them. It's not their fault they were attacked. The DDoS attack, stupid nonsense. So obviously we didn't show the debate on Rumble yesterday, but we were still live showing the debate. We had to show it on Kick, and we also showed it on jeffmaclive.com. So most of you guys showed up. I mean, we had a little over 100 people across the two platforms. It was very intimate live with just the two chats there. I had a blast. I hope you guys had a blast. And well, if you weren't with us, you missed out. You missed out. Either way, try not to blame Rumble too much for it. It's not their fault that they were attacked. I have tech problems. I have YouTube come after me every other fucking day. So I should know what it's like, right? Have a little grace for it. So I'm trying to. I was all pissed off last night about it. But anyways, before we get any further, I want to remind you guys, if you would like to join the website, right now is the time to do it. Go grab you a membership for jeffmaclive.com. That way you can watch the live post in Hooligans Alley and hang out with all the hooligans over in the group chats. Plus, you'll be able to join us on Fridays, 6 p.m. Eastern time, for the voice chat, which we will be doing today. It's going to be a busy day today. We have all of Coffee with Hooligans. Then in 44 minutes, we have President Trump live. I believe he's in Virginia. I was supposed to write it down, but I did not do that. That's okay. And then 6 p.m. Eastern time, we will be over on jeffmaclive.com doing the voice chat. I don't know how I'm going to eat today, but that's okay. I'm all psyched to hang out with you hooligans. We're going to be starting off with a video titled, "What is on those tapes?" talking about Merrick Garland could be taken into custody today. I highly doubt it, but you know, maybe. They're obviously going to reference the debate, and then they're going to talk about these open borders and how those border crossers are killing us and doing worse things than that. Then we have a video titled RFK Jr. post-debate, "Only I can beat President Trump now." Good luck, buddy. Apparently, he was doing a solo debate last night. I didn't even realize that was a thing. I kind of wish we would have covered CNN falling to pieces after the debate. I thought it was going to be a bunch of, I don't know. I thought it was going to be just toxic behavior, and I was like, we don't need that. We did the pledge and wrapped it up. But now looking back, I'm like, damn, I wish we would have covered them crying so hard. So we got a little bit of that today. Then we have a video titled, "How Concerned Are Democrats After Biden's Debate Performance?" It's a Peter Ducey video, obviously talking about how Old Man Walter did a terrible job last night. Didn't expect any less. I mean, he was right on par. Honestly, Biden did exactly like I thought he would. The Orange Eagle obviously kept his cool, doing a little shit talking back and forth. I loved it. Not everybody felt the same way if you were on Twitter today, but that's okay. Fuck those people. Then we have a video titled, "Despite did we do this? Yeah, despite calls for replacement, Biden's going nowhere," talking about how Americans got to watch Biden uncensored for 90 minutes straight. And honestly, it was a little bit longer than that. They kept doing those stupid intermission things, and then the outro was just a mess. It was just awkwardly standing there in silence while the camera's moving around and stuff. A lot of people think that Old Man Walter is going to get swapped out for either Newsom or Whitmer or Michael Obama or, you know, somebody like that. But these people are saying that's not going to happen. Time will tell. And then we have a video titled, "Joe Biden Got Escorted Off the Stage." It is exactly like it sounds like. It's the last little clip. We didn't capture it last night because we were watching the official broadcast or whatever. So they cut away at this point. But we have some footage where they wrapped it up. President Trump just walked away. He was like, "Okay, I'm done playing with you clowns," and wandered off. And then Old Man Walter had to have Jill Handler show up and escort his little frail ass off the stage. Just, you know, more weakness right there to show the whole world how we're doing. Then we have a video titled, "SCOTUS Rules January 6 Rioter Improperly Charged Under Obstruction Statute." So any J6er that is facing obstruction charges right now, those charges are likely to be dropped because of what SCOTUS just did today. So that's a win for the J6ers, and of course we'll get into that when we get that far. Then we have our, oh God, why can't I think? We have our funny video of the day. It's titled "The Orange Eagle." And then of course, like I said, we have President Trump at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Let me write this stuff down. Otherwise, I'm just never going to remember. I swear I wrote it down. I don't know where I put it. That's what I told her. All right. Get this pulled up. The crowd is looking good over here on Trump's Live. Yeah, they're in Chesapeake, Virginia. Out in Virginia. That's all right. We'll get to it when we get to it, and we'll check on it throughout the live. But we are going to get started on our first video right after we read through the chat here. What is up, everyone, over on jeffmaclive.com. We had a record-breaking 27 people over on the website last night. It was badass. You hooligans are the best. What's up, Snooks? What's up, Astro Hammer? What's up, Zero? What's up, 10 Man? What's up, Alistair? What's up, Russell? What's up, Hair Juicer? What's up, Breeze by You? What's up, Annette? What's up, Salty Ragu? What's up, Guessum J? What's up, Goblin Queen? What's up, J Spray? What's up, Cassandra? What's up, Turbo? What's up, Elisa? Happy freedom, you hooligans. Appreciate all of you guys being here on the website. What is up, everyone over on Rumble? Breeze by You, you were first today. I appreciate you racing to the chat. What's up, Mr. B New? What's up, Russell? You're omnipresent. You're awesome. What's up, MU? What's up, Pumpkin? Happy freedom. What's up, Addie Walker? Appreciate you being here. What's up, Kirk Allen? Alistair, you're omnipresent. You're awesome. What's up, Stoner? Appreciate you. What's up, Elder Zoomer? What's up, Girth? What's up, Gron? Make sure I didn't miss anybody. What's up, Puffin Stuff? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Screaming Eagle? Appreciate you being here. What's up, Wet Blanket? Hopefully we don't have any problems with Rumble. I've seen on Twitter a lot of people complaining that there's still some bugs going on from the DDoS attack yesterday. Hopefully that's not the case. I'm hoping for a smooth live today. What's up, Peyton? Happy freedom. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. What's up, Black White Bull? Don't forget to hit that like button over there on Rumble, you hooligans. And what is up, everyone over on Kick? What's up, Zoospot? What's up, DeMarquise? Happy freedom, you hooligans. Appreciate all of you guys being on Kick. Man, Kick was kicking ass last night. Big shout out to Kick. What's up, everyone over on Twitch? Zoospot, you're omnipresent. You're awesome. What's up, Tony Rich? Kirk Allen, you're also omnipresent. You're awesome. Let's see, make sure I got everybody. Peyton, you're omnipresent. You guys are the best. You guys are the best. And what's up, everyone over on the Communism Tube? Mr. Satan, you were first over here. What's up, Toy Mafia? What's up, Ink Scars? Happy freedom. You gotta join us back on Discord. We're back on Discord, Ink Scars. What's up, Cheeky Chops? Happy freedom. What's up, Parabellum? Appreciate you joining us. What's up, Gregory? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Katie? Happy freedom. What's up, Acid Fusion? Appreciate you being here. What's up, Raw? What's up, Jamie? Happy freedom, you hooligans. You guys are welcome to hit that like button over on the Goof Tube as well. We're going to get running into this. Alyssa, is Rumble having issues? Are you guys having issues? Because right now you guys are watching the Rumble player over on the website. So if you're not having issues, Rumble's not having issues. We're going to get started on this first video here. Once again, it's titled, What is on Those Tapes? Merrick Garland. This whole time I thought his name was Eric. Can you believe that? Merrick Garland could be taken into custody today. Yeah, right. But first, I got to remind you guys, we have these Happy Freedom Orange Eagle t-shirts. So, as I keep telling you, I'm trying to come up with new merch. I am a busy hooligan. I got a lot of stuff going on right now. I'm overwhelmed. So I'm kicking it out to Alistair. Alistair's going to help me with the new design that will be coming out for our 4th of July design. So big shout out to you, Alistair. Thank you for helping me. And so we'll have new stuff coming soon. Look forward to it. But right now, I got to let you guys know about these Happy Freedom Orange Eagle t-shirts. It comes in shirts for men, shirts for women, tank tops for men, tank tops for women. And if you're not a man and woman, then fuck you. But anyways, we also have stickers, coffee mugs, pullover hoodies, zipper hoodies, dog tags, and I even made a backpack. Today I got on the spooky green hooligan t-shirt, this hooligan badge. Lots of items, lots of designs over on the merch store. I will drop the link while we're watching this first video.
Eric Swalwell has been attacking me since I got elected, but I don't pay attention to irrelevant people. I think his track record speaks for itself, and I'm focusing on protecting and upholding my constitutional authority, of which Thomas Jefferson wrote that in the rule book.
Well, clearly mental capacity was the leading issue last night. And we've been talking about it a lot on this program leading up to the debate because we've had real doctors on the show. I mean, Ronnie Jackson was the White House physician for 14 years. He was a doctor for Presidents Bush, Trump, and Obama. And he demanded the White House answer him and tell him whether or not Joe Biden would take a drug test. What did you learn last night from that debate?
I do believe that this president is unfit to be president, but it's not just Republicans. Democrats on MSNBC, ABC, CNN, operatives, Young Turks, they were all calling for Joe Biden to step down. And I do believe that he may not be the nominee. I've said that before, and that it is very apparent that there's something in the works.
Yeah,
I mean, we're in big trouble here.
How does that work? Because first of all, they have to get Joe Biden to agree to step away. Then they've got to decide if they want Kamala Harris. They can't just bring somebody else in over Kamala Harris, right? And then, by the way, none of those candidates have polled any better against President Trump. When you look at whether it's Governor Gavin Newsom, Illinois Governor Pritzker, Michigan Governor Whitmer, or Kamala Harris, they don't poll better than Trump.
I think that this is exactly why those tapes are so important, because if these tapes come out, or if we are able to hear them, we hear that he is incompetent on those tapes, or that the transcripts have been somehow altered. What ends up happening is we could invoke the 25th Amendment, of which, to my understanding, Biden's cabinet would vote on that. But I do think after last night's performance, it's not just me, it's other Democrats are saying that he needs to step down. And again, going back to what's happening right now, I don't believe that there's any world where this November a Democrat wins because of what's happened with the economy, what's happened on foreign policy, what's happening with our military, and what's happening with our country. People want prosperity. They want to be able to put their kids to school, not have to worry about grocery bills. And right now in Joe Biden's country, everything, to include crime, is at an all-time high.
Wait, did you just say that the Biden cabinet would vote to get him out in the 25th Amendment? You said, I believe that the cabinet would vote for that?
I believe that if those tapes come out, I believe that they would have to. And I say that based on last night's performance and the outcry from Democrats, from various news outlets, from the American people at Joe Biden's performance. Maria, every single news outlet, to include many far-left bloggers, were calling for a new candidate or for him to step aside. It was a terrible performance, of which I am happy President Trump is leading. I've been supporting him, but I'm actually concerned that we have someone in the White House that is mentally incompetent to be fit as president, and our adversaries are watching. And I have one obligation, and that is to uphold my constitutional authorities, and mental fitness is a part of that.
Well, look, it's not just the mental capacity. It's also ineptitude on policy. I mean, look, this latest migrant story, the illegal migrant from Turkey who crossed into America through the San Diego border is now being accused of raping a 15-year-old girl from New York. Here's Trump last night discussing migrant crime. Watch.
There have been many young women murdered by the same people he allows to come across our border. We have a border that's the most dangerous place anywhere in the world, considered the most dangerous place anywhere in the world. And he opened it up, and these killers are coming into our country, and they are raping and killing women.
Look at Joe Biden. It looks like he's never heard that before.
Specifics from this White House on all of these murders that we've been talking about. Jocelyn Nungary, 12-year-old girl from Texas, Rachel Morin, mother of 5, Laken Riley. I mean, Congresswoman, come on. Where's the response from Democrats?
They understand the crisis at hand. It has gotten so bad, Maria, that I did hear at one point that Biden was considering invoking executive action on the border, but his internal circle, I believe, told him, as they had anticipated, that it somehow might affect their polling, that would backfire. But right now, what we're seeing across the nation is this is a nonpartisan issue. People want border security, and the fact that it's not just women, it's children that are being raped by these monsters that are coming here. Look, I'm for legal immigration, but when you have people coming here illegally, unvetted and unchecked, you're importing criminals that are hurting our daughters. And it is our obligation as legislators to ensure that women and children are protected. We can't continue down this path.
Well said, Congresswoman. We will watch that situation, certainly. It's good to see you this morning. Thank you very much, Congresswoman Anna Paulina.
Well, that's nice. She sounds like a little surprised, though. She's like, well, after last night's debate, I'm pretty convinced that we need someone better in the White House. It took last night for that to happen. We've been saying that for 4 years. We've been saying that before he even moved in the White House. Yeah, he's no good for the position. And he proves it every time he's out in the public. Old man Walter, he did a shit job yesterday. Now, a lot of people still think that he's going to be replaced. I don't know. I don't know the legality of it or any of it. Out of all the videos I screened today that spoke about that a little bit, they all said that he would have to agree to it. That they wouldn't be able to exchange him unless he agreed to it. which is interesting. And he seems pretty easy to coerce. So that doesn't seem like that big of a hurdle. You just got to get him to say, yeah. And I assume he will. It's not like he's going to fight back. He can't even fight the stairs. Okay, so they're probably going to swap him out. I don't know who they're going to swap him out with, but it's going to be a shit show. And a lot of people think that whoever they swap Old Man Walter out for is just going to be the guy that's going to win. And I don't like that. I don't like hearing that. People are like already accepting it. They're just like, oh, well, blue team will swap it out and whoever they put in his place, that's who's going to win. No, I don't accept that. I don't accept that. My vote matters. I'm not accepting that. So anyways, we're going to read through the chat really quick. Next up, we have RFK Jr. post-debate. Only I can beat President Trump now. That is some sort of statement there. But anyways, that's coming up next. I am eyeballing this Trump rally here. Let me give you guys a little peeky peek. Look at how excited everybody in Virginia is. Let's hear them speak really quick. We're going to read through the chat, and then we'll go ahead and get on to this next video.
In the halls of Congress in Washington, D.C. But let me tell you, I'm a geriatric nurse practitioner by trade, and I know elder abuse. And what we saw last night was definitely elder abuse.
It sounds like they got their brains attached today.
Do you want that man? I think of our great military. I think of our great military district we have here. To think of that man as the commander-in-chief of our armed forces, I'm tired of him being an embarrassment to our great nation.
The woman in the back, white tank top or sleeveless shirt, says, "Keep America great."
Pilot and the mom now of a future Navy pilot, in addition to being the daughter of a Green Beret who served in Vietnam, I know what it means to serve.
All right, it's coming up. It's coming up. I think it's going to be a good one. We're going to hear directly from President Trump, his opinion on how the debate went last night. So I'm trying to move things along here. He's supposed to be on stage in 29 minutes. Hopefully he's a little bit late. But either way, we're going to read through the chat really quick. We're going to cover, after that, we will be covering RFK Jr. post-debate. Only I can beat President Trump, he thinks quietly to himself. Anyways, we're going to read through the chat first. Mr. Beansy Beans buying his bullshit rally in North Carolina. It was a shitstorm. Yeah, one of the videos here talks about that he left the debate and then was going to do some I think it's the Peter Ducey video. It talks about how he's supposed to be doing some campaigning. I don't know what that's going to look like. I could tell what it's going to smell like, though. Let's see. Reading through. Zero, we're not the only ones that think that. Yep, you're right, Zero. You're right. She came out and she's like, this is elderly abuse. Like, you are right on the money. You saw the same debate that I saw. Yep. 10-man, his cabinet can invoke the 25th Amendment. Yeah, and he wouldn't have a choice in that. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Only time will tell. Because we know they're gonna do a lot of stuff. They're gonna make this. They'll just radicalize it by the time it's November. It was like this in 2020. It was, the closer we get to November, the more chaos and nonsense that happens. Things that come out of left field that you're not expecting. Illegal stuff happening that they claim has merit. You know, stuff. Those kind of things are going to start happening between now and November. So, who knows? Who knows? Maybe they will do the 25th Amendment. We'll see. Salt Ragu, the Devil's making a special place for the Bidens. Yep, right in the gaper. Let's see. Alyssa, how's everyone feeling last night? Yeah, that's a great question. That's a great question. How's everyone feeling after their debate festivities last night? I drank so much water. I was sober by the time I went to sleep. Mr. Beans Beans, no hangover. Glad to hear it. Zero, the vacant stare. Yeah. Every time President Trump spoke, Old Man Walter had that look in his face like he'd never heard words before. Just embarrassing. So embarrassing. Mr. Beansy Beans, you think they're going to use Newsom? They might. He was on TV yesterday. I shared a thing with Tommy Girl. She had reposted a video or something of Newsom. He was somewhere on some media station with a reporter. They were doing an after debate conversation, but there was a lot of people noticing that he was defending Old Man Walter and was like, no, we're not going to replace Old Man Walter. Why would we do that? And it's like, dude, nobody even asked you that. You just started defending things that nobody even said. So it looks like he already knows. He already knows. Like, they already got it all planned out, and he's trying to pretend, but he's not good at pretending. That's what I think, at least. Mr. B New, dead eyes, mouth half open, hard to watch. I thought they were going to stop it early. I thought so too, Mr. B New. It started to get to like a little bit of a shit show at the end there. They would ask President Trump a question, and he would be like, well, hold on. We're going to talk about what we just talked about. And rewind it back. And there were certain instances where like questions were not getting answered. There was bickering. The whole golf thing I thought was kind of stupid. They're like shitting on each other about who's got what handicap and their golf swing and all this stuff. And it's like, you guys are really telling us how much more wealthy you are than we are. Like, we want to hear you talk shit to each other and not about your golf game. Like, these are rich people problems. So I don't know. It was something else. It was entertaining. I know that. It was entertaining. Stoner, Tim Pool had Hunter's baby mama on this morning, and it was good. We covered her a week or two ago. I can't remember who she was talking to. It was Jesse Waters or something. But I'll have to check out the Tim Pool after the live. What's up, Mandela? Happy freedom. Dutton, everything Biden stated was through the grapevine. He had no firsthand info. Yeah, you're right, because we got over the halfway mark and President Trump would say something and Biden would just say, well, that's not true. He wouldn't say what is. He wouldn't be like, no, that's not true. This is what actually happened. The whole end of the debate was just Biden going, that's not true. He didn't have any rebuttal. It was just, Trump, you're a liar. That's all he had. That's all. He had nothing else. He was completely out of ammo. What's up, Sly Dog? Happy freedom. Kevin, I was in the pet shop here, and they have suits for pets. I was going to get a business suit for Klaus. Oh, he would love that. 00 Klaus. Where is he at? Hooligan cat. I don't know where he is. Maybe he's eating snacks. I'll scoop him up when he runs by. What's up, Screaming Eagle? Happy freedom. What's up, Master Meatball? This has been planned for months. Yeah, Master Meatball. People have been talking about Biden getting replaced for like the last year or so, but after that performance last night, I think we're going to see things speed up. What's up, Red Bear? Happy freedom. President Trump won the debate, hands down. I agree, Red Bear. You're not wrong. What's up, Smelly? Happy freedom. Master Meatball, it's going to be Newsom and Michael. Could be. God, what a terrible duo. Newsom and Michael. Just evil. Just dripping with evil. I don't know. They better not. What's up, Lisa? Happy freedom. What's up, Jamie and Deborah? Happy freedom. What's up, Captain Deplorable? Appreciate you joining us. What's up, Rhyme Time? Happy freedom to you. All right, hooligans, we're going to move on to this next one here. Just keeping an eye on this Trump rally. We got 22 minutes until he is expected on stage, so don't you worry. You're not going to miss out. I'm excited to hear what the president has to say after the debate, to give us his side of the story, his thoughts and feelings on how it went. I'm like super excited about it. But we're going to get onto this RFK video here, because I didn't even know he was doing anything. I thought he was taking a nap yesterday. I didn't know what was going on. Let me get this pulled up. All right, so this is RFK Jr. post-debate. Only I can beat President Trump. Apparently he was doing a solo debate while watching the debate on a big screen and was answering the questions that was given to the two candidates, and then was also playing by the rules or whatever. I don't know what you would call this, a mock debate or something, but he was doing a thing or whatever, so we'll just go ahead and cover that.
Break down down what Kennedy called the real.
Hit that like button, hooligans.
RFK differentiate himself from his more mainstream opponents that had such a huge stage. And good morning.
Hey, good morning, Hannah. Yeah, look, after last night's debate, we might see more chatter about the third-party candidates in this presidential race. RFK Jr. really pushed to be on that debate stage, but after coming up short, he held his own debate event, like you said, even holding himself to strict time constraints for answers.
I want to thank everybody for being here.
He called it the real debate. RFK Jr., son of Bobby Kennedy and nephew of John F. Kennedy, shut out of Thursday night's debate and instead hosting his own.
Americans believe that the system is rigged against them because it is.
Playing moderator and commentator as the battle between Biden and Trump played out before him, even holding himself to the rules of the debate.
We're following the rules here. Your 2 minutes are up.
On immigration.
Democrats allowed this to happen out of a humanitarian impulse, out of the impulse of compassion.
RFK Jr. saying immigration and the crime associated with it requires more than a compassionate solution.
The people that I talked to, many of them have been extorted, they've been exploited, they've been robbed, they've been raped.
Kennedy spent much of the debate listening closely, but he didn't mince words on international relations.
The two of them are equally culpable in the provocations that led to this war. And I'm not excusing Putin. We need to look at our responsibility, and it falls both on the backs of President Trump and President Biden.
And on abortion.
I've spent probably more energy protecting medical freedom than any other leader in this country. I think that abortion should be the choice of a woman. My policy on abortion is called more choice, fewer abortions.
The independent candidate determined to capture America's vote.
If you want to vote out of fear, you need to support one of those guys. If you want to vote out of hope, out of inspiration, out of pride in your country, out of restoring the moral backbone of our people and our nation, you should vote for me.
As of now, RFK Jr. has nothing on his public schedule for the coming weeks, and it's very important to note he still lags very far behind in donations versus Mr. Biden and Mr. Trump. Hannah?
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to join in.
Well, there sure as hell was not a lot of promotion for the RFK Jr. solo debate, because I totally didn't know that was even going on. Who won? Who won that debate? Yeah. And he had a live audience, so he wasn't exactly participating by the rules, but that's okay. That's okay. Let me see what's going on here. I got all these different screens all lit up. Next up, we have how concerned are Democrats after Biden's debate performance. This is a Peter Doocy video giving us his thoughts on all of that. I think they also talk about, a lot of these videos are talking about replacing Biden and the legality of it, and you know, their individual thoughts on all of that. So anyways, we got Peter Doocy coming up next. Hold on, I gotta show you guys this real quick. Look at that, bars and stars beard here. This guy's styling. This guy's, you can hear the eagle scream when he pisses. Okay, styling. Look at him. Hell yeah, got the MAGA hat on. He's got the new MAGA hat too, the 4547 on the side there. Look at that, getting it. This guy's probably only 22 years old also. I don't know if you've seen the Gen Zers, but Jesus loves this. They look like they fell out of the hoo-ha smoking 2 packs of cigarettes and having a 60-hour-a-week job. I don't know why God made them that way, but it is what it is. I didn't do it. Don't be mad at me. Anyways, like I said, we got Peter Doocy coming up next. But first, we're going to read through the chat and see what you hooligans think about RFK Jr.'s solo performance there that I was unaware of that it even happened. And it looks like a group for the devil's lettuce. That's exactly what it is. Got some Biden's notes leaked. My name is Joe. I am president. Hold on. Let's get this out here. We found the leaked list there from Joe's notepad. It says the legal pad on it. My name is Joe and I am president. I'm not a poopy head. My son is not a flamboyant individual. My wife is Jill, but I think about Ivanka. My golf handicap is better than mean orange man. Avoid stairs at all costs. Blonde lady needs sniffing. That's nice. That's nice. Thank you for sharing that with us, Get Some J. You're the bestest. What's up, Sam? Happy freedom to you. Astral Hammer, probably nothing wrong with his performance, but why? Why do it? Yeah. I don't know. What a shit show it was. What did you guys see him get helped off the stage? It's like, I can't believe that they made the Orange Eagle even debate that guy. He'll be debating toddlers next. Just reading through. Mr. Beans Beans, RFK VP pick as a major socialist. I haven't heard anything about that. RFK Jr. does not get a lot of publicity. You have to like go search his name up, I guess, because I don't see him at all. It's very rare for where I see his stuff. Oh, and we're supposed to be expecting President Trump to announce his VP sometime soon. There was a lot of talk about it. I couldn't get a solid video last week, but I screened a bunch of like 10 and 15 minute videos that were talking about that he was either going to announce it right before the debate, right after the debate, or within a week of the debate. Now, of course, President Trump could move the goalpost and not announce it, but from what I understand, we're like getting really close to where President Trump is going to make the announcement for his VP. Alyssa, you need a glow-in-the-dark shirt. Yeah, I don't have access to that stuff right now. I don't know if this is UV reactive. Let me see. I got my little UV thing here. Oh yeah, it is. My shirt's UV reactive. But if you order it from the shop, you're getting a different shirt. This was a gift to me from a hooligan. The ones on the shop may be UV reactive, they may not be, but I don't have access to glow-in-the-dark stuff. I would have to do that on my own, and I'd have to hire someone to do it because I'm so busy I can't do any more than I already am. But I agree, Alyssa, I need to get some glow-in-the-dark stuff. That's the fancy stuff. Salty Ragu, there's no hooligan bongs in the merch store, just saying. Yeah, Salty Ragu, I know. We need to get a hooligan that blows glass. I can feel your guys' thoughts when I said the blow word. We need a hooligan that blows glass, and we'd put their custom glass on the merch store. It'd be awesome. Mr. Beans Beans, Benny Johnson said New Scum won't win any swing states. Yeah. I don't know who's gonna vote for New Scum. I don't know anybody that even likes him as the governor. Probably people that think he's attractive. That's the only thing I can think of, because California is not doing well. You know what I mean? Like, for people who want to prosper in the world, it's not doing well over there in California. The laws and all of that stuff, the criminals, the border crossers that are just beaching, coming up and just, I can't even think what it's called now, just grounding their boats there on the beach and all of that. It's not doing good. It's not doing good. So we're going to have that guy run the country? No, let's not do that. Guess J. Actually, Trump is a hella golfer in real life. Yeah, Guess J. Well, he owns a golf course, and then he buried that family member on it. So now the golf course is tax exempt. I mean, that's pretty badass. He gets to go there, pocket all the money from everyone that has a membership, and then just play golf on his own golf course. You gotta love golf if you're doing all of that. I like golf myself. I'm not good at it, but I like drinking beer and being outside. There's that. Who doesn't want to drive golf cart a little tipsy? Alyssa, I had to get up way too early after last night. Oh, man. Well, you're lucky you didn't drink 2 of those last night, because you might have been under the weather today. Mr. Beansy Beans, I'm surprised that you're doing tip-top after those twisted teas, because they'll get you. They catch up to you. They do. Saldaregu spelling is racist. Yeah. Guess some J. You know us well. I do. What's up, Kung Fu? Happy freedom. Are we going to have a storm now or what? I'm hearing heavy rain. I got PTSD from that storm we had last week or whenever that happened. Zupia, Vivek for VP. He said he will announce at the RNC in Milwaukee. When is that supposed to happen? I don't like Vivek. He's good for business stuff, but I don't think he should be in charge of anything because he's slimy. He's real slimy. Scheduled to be held July 15th through the 18th, obviously 2024, for the Republican National Convention. Yep. So when is President Trump supposed to be sentenced? I keep mixing it up because our Gilded took a shit because they got bought by another company, and I think they go away at the 15th. I think President Trump's sentencing is on the 11th, maybe? So shortly after President Trump gets sentenced for the hush money trial bullshit, right after that, we can be expecting the VP announcement. So we're looking at 2 weeks. A little over 2 weeks. It's like 2 weeks and some days, like 18 days. Looking forward to the VP announcement. Thank you for letting me know, Zupia. I appreciate you. Alistair, I think VP picks are supposed to be doing the debate. That'd be something. We should. They like tag team, like WrestleMania. You can't answer a question, you got to tag in the VP. Why don't you take care of my light work? I don't know. I want to make the shit fun, you know. I always have these ideas because I want to make it more fun. If politics wasn't so boring, more people would be involved in it, which is probably why they make it so boring, because if more people were involved, the country would reflect our beliefs and ideals more transparently. Wow. Thank you so much, Stoner, for that $20 donation over on Rumble. You're the best, Stoner. Thank you. Says, I won money at the casino last night, and I was going to call in today, but my work ethic is too strong. What a badass, Stoner. Thank you so much. Bobby, you cracked me up. Happy Freedom Send. Appreciate you joining us. What's up, 2 times? Happy Freedom. That's quite the username with everything going on with Dr. Disrespect right now. Ha ha ha. That's some pretty good trolling, 2 times. That's some good stuff right there. I'm proud of you. You know, you have no idea. I shit on trolls every single day. That's a good one, though, 2 times. That's a good one. I appreciate you. You're a badass. What's up, Leah? Happy Freedom. What's up, Stern? Appreciate you being here. Lisa, I work at a golf course, and it's awesome. I bet it is. You get, like, tips and all that stuff. I know people on golf courses, they got money. If I was working at a golf course, I'd probably sell weed or something. They smoke weed, right? I would do something because I know they got money. They got that money. Lisa, we drink and smoke pot. That's badass. Hell yeah. That's quite the golf course. Get some Ted Nugent or Kid Rock for VP. That'd be something. Alyssa, July 11th or 13th for the sentencing. Thank you for letting me know, Alyssa. Keeping track of the rally going on, the MAGA rally. 8 minutes until President Trump is expected on stage. He's usually a little bit late. So I think we got enough time to, well, yeah, we should have enough time to get into this next one. This next one's the Peter Doocy video. It's titled, How Concerned Are Democrats After Biden's Debate Performance? They're going to give us their little 2 cents on it. Now, before we get into this, I want to remind you guys, if you would like to participate in Free Speech Saturday, make sure you post all of your memes over on Discord or on jeffmaclive.com. Just hop in the group chats on either platform. You'll see the tabs labeled memes. Drop what you got and we'll shout you out as we're making Saturdays more fun. We're going to hop into this Peter Doocy video. Peter Doocy should be all good here. This is working out nicely. All right. Of course, I just lost my train of thought, but that's all right. We're going to hop right into this. This is How Concerned Are Democrats After Biden's Debate Performance? They're going to have Peter Doocy on the screen here in a second, so let's hear what they think. I want to check something really quick, though. I just had an idea. Okay. I was going to say, is there a press briefing today? Is KJP going to be crying hard today? Because I kind of want to know. Nope, they're gaggling up on Air Force One, so there's no KJP today. I was just curious if we're going to hear some crying. I wanted to check in, press briefing, and hear some crying. But anyways, let's get this started. Once again, this is a Peter Doocy video titled, How Concerned Are Democrats After Biden's Debate Performance?
Peter Doocy's at the White House. Peter, any initial reaction? Obviously, the White House is going to say he did fine, but any thoughts of people you've talked to about where this goes?
Well, a lot of the talk ahead of this debate was Donald Trump accusing Joe Biden of taking Adderall to be topped up. It didn't sound like Adderall. It sounded like he needed Benadryl. Because now the initial reaction from Democrats, Jackie Heinrich just sent a group of us on a Fox internal email chain. She talked to a well-connected Democratic source who said the House and the Senate are going to be the Republicans for now. Everyone is freaking out. He, the president, needs to go, but there's no way to replace him unless he agrees. And we got a couple more quotes from Pat Ward, who is our senior editorial producer here at the White House. He says one Democratic source tells Fox, not good, and another Democratic source tells Fox, I am in shock. Two people who work with the campaign in Wilmington told me during the debate when I asked, what's wrong with the president's voice tonight? They said he has a cold. But at no point in the run-up to this did they say he had a cold. In fact, they were posting videos of him drinking water, like a dark Brandon water, in the elevator at the venue to say that that was his performance enhancer. Nothing about a cold. And we understand that his schedule the next couple days is going to be packed. He's going directly from the debate to North Carolina for some campaign events and then to New York for some fundraisers. If he is actually sick, you would think that they would take him down because he is having a hard time speaking and it's possibly contagious. We have not heard about any scheduled changes yet.
Peter, we're being told that the vice president is going to be out doing media tonight. We'd love to have her on here. She's welcome anytime.
Madam Vice President!
Thank you, Peter. You're
Thanks,
trying
Peter.
to get her there?
I don't think
One
she's
way to
good.
I
book
think
a gap.
she's someplace else. Peter,
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to...
I hate that they put all that bullshit all over the screen. Like, fuck you, YouTube. Can't stand you. Can't stand your existence at all. Anyways, that was Peter Doocy talking about old man Walter and how they're about to cash him in for someone else. And like I told you guys in the beginning of the live, they keep saying that he has to agree to it. Now, I don't know how that stands against the 25th Amendment, but I don't think that would be that hard. They're like, oh, well, he has to agree. He's not going to. Like, what do you mean? He doesn't seem like he has much of a choice of anything. What if they just said he agreed? How's he going to come tell us that that's not true? He's not in control of anything. He's not controlling anything. So I guess they're just waiting for the right moment to turn around and be like, oh, something happened. He's done. He said no. He's good to go. We're going to put the spotlight on someone else now. There's nothing stopping that from happening. Like I said, I think that I know they're abusing Joe. They're abusing Joe. But I think that they're sheltering him so much that he doesn't know anything. They're just like, here, go do this, say this, do this. We're going to do this. It's not asking, it's telling. You are going to do this. And he just does it because he doesn't know any different. And I think that's also what contributed to his dumb face during the debate. It's because it's the first time he's hearing the real world. You know what I mean? He's being sheltered. Everything he sees and hears comes through some asshole at the White House. And so here he is hearing President Trump directly for the first time in God only knows how long. And you could see it on his face. He's like, I've never heard that before. I didn't know the country was doing so bad. He looked like he was being informed by President Trump. And I think it's because he's so sheltered. And so for them to be like, well, he has to agree to it. Yeah. You mean you guys just have to come out on TV and say that he agreed to it, and then you're going to swap him out for the next asshole? So anyways, we obviously will be covering all of that as that unfolds. We're going to be reading through the chat really quick. See what you hooligans think about that Peter Doocy video. Still watching this Trump rally here. He's expected to be on stage in 2 minutes. If I see things kick off, of course, we'll just cut off this next video and, we'll hop right in the Trump rally. But either way, we're going to read through the chat really quick. And next up, if President Trump's not on stage, we have, despite calls for replacement, Biden's not going anywhere. And it's talking about how America's watching Biden uncensored. There's no smoke screen of people walking around him, so you can't see that he walks like a robot. There's no cue cards or teleprompter. You are seeing old man Walter for what he is. And for a lot of Americans, that may be the first time So that was probably a red pilling event last night more than anything. And President Trump didn't even have to say anything. He just had to let old man Walter do the thing, and they all figured it out. So that's what that next video is about, if we get to it before President Trump. But first, we're going to read through the chat. Mr. Beans, I have no care for pedo Biden. Yeah, they're going to cast him away. They're going to tell him to look at the flowers. That's what's going to happen. Guess of Jay, nah, he was born with that face. That's the face the doctor gave him, you know? Just saying. 10 Man, he sounded better 2 hours ago. The dope kicked in 14 hours too late. You're not wrong, 10 Man. He was sounding like a bullfrog at the end of that. He was just like the Walking Dead, just at the end. He was doing shit. Breeze by you, Biden will do as he's told. You're right. You're right. Russell, he's got the big C. He might. Oh, man, could you imagine if they did that? They're like, old man Walter kicked the bucket from the big C. So, oh, no, I forgot about cancer. Not that big C. That's a little C now. You know what I'm talking about, the plague. They're going to be like, I kicked the bucket from the plague. It's real bad. We got to go back into lockdowns. Like, oh, no. Oh, no. It'd be smelling real patriotic around here. Guess some J. Oxygen is his performance enhancer. Yeah. Zero, you can hear a faint static. I don't know if it's on my end. I don't want to start messing with stuff and cables and all of that. If it becomes an issue, I will start, tinkering with things. If you guys hear any kind of static, drop a 1 in the chat. You would only hear it while I'm speaking, because when I'm not speaking, everything's muted. So you're not going to hear any kind of static from the system itself. It would only be from my microphone. But drop a 1 in the chat if you hear any static. Help us solve some problems here. RK. KJP is tonsils deep on some carpet right now. If she's lucky. Russell, yeah, the Dems are freaking out. Yep. Breeze by you a cold. Yeah, he got a little cold. Sam Killery might just delete old man Walter. He might, Sam. She might. Is she going to jump in the race? Like, what if it was Trump Biden 2024? Trump Biden. Trump Hillary. Trump versus Hillary. I don't want to see that. Breeze by you're not hearing static. Salty Ragu, don't start pushing buttons. We all know what'll happen. Yeah, that's... You see me learning my lessons. That's why I'm like, I'm going to hold off. I'm going to hold off before I start tinkering with things. Zero, don't mess with stuff. Haven't heard it since. Okay. Just let me know, Zero. Yeah, I appreciate you, RK. Don't work too hard out there. Lifelike, you can hear humming. You might hear the fans. I got a fan. I got 2 different fans on me right now, so you might be hearing the fan. Alice, you think Hillary's going to come out of the woods? I don't want to see that. I don't even like the little bit of clips that we cover every now and then. She is a monster. That person is a monster. So I don't want to see her on, as a candidate. Happy Freedom Friday, General Chaos. Yeah, you guys are probably hearing the fans. The humming you're hearing is most likely the fans. Too old to care, Big C Clinton. Yeah, that's the other Big C. Some may actually prefer cancer over Clinton. How do you want to kick the bucket? Peyton OG Joe had blue eyes. Yeah, I don't know which one we're working with now. Joe Biden 4.0 or something like that. Web Blankets is dementia. Yeah, that's why he's got that stare. Sly Dog, cognitive testing and doctor's declaration of impairment. They probably wouldn't need his permission after that, right, Sly Dog? If he's considered impaired, I mean, they'd be looking at like power of attorney and stuff like that, which obviously would probably, in my opinion, I believe, it'd be Jill Handler that would take over power of attorney. And she's going to give the green light on it. And she's like, yeah, this dud, he's done. He's done. Throw in the next guy. Told to care, Biden's not even in control of his bowels. Not wrong. What's up, Shiny Red Knob? Happy freedom. Jump off. I think a lot of people finally caught a clue last night to reality. Yeah, that's what I was just saying. It was a big red pill event, and President Trump didn't even have to say anything. Just letting Old Man Walter be Old Man Walter the way that all of us see him, because we are here every day covering the news and whatnot, and the normies aren't. They don't know what's going on. They just get little blips here and there. Yeah, yesterday they got 90 minutes of pure Old Man Walter. What's up, Giggling Spy? Happy freedom. Matthew, the humming I hear is in my head. Me too, buddy. Me too. What's up, Pag? Happy freedom. I don't know what you guys are talking about on Twitch. Lisa, people just accept what's fed to them. That's the sad thing. Well, they don't understand that they need to challenge it. You know, like you're at work, you're having a hard day, your kids got shit to do after work, and you're busy, you're trying to figure out dinner, the car's making a weird fucking sound, and then your buddy comes up and goes, hey, did you hear Biden won the debate last night? And you're like, no, I didn't hear that. And like, yeah, he did great. And you're like, oh, that's cool. And like, yeah, well, I'll talk to you later. And this person goes, well, that's cool. Biden won the debate last night, you know, and then 9 hours later, sitting down with their better half, and they're like, hey, did you hear Biden won the debate last night? And they're like, no, I was at work and, you know, doing normal shit. Like, yeah, I guess Biden won the debate. And now you got two assholes wandering around telling everybody that Biden won the debate. Well, there's tons of us out here, and we're all living that life. So, you know, they don't understand that there's reasons to question this shit. The same reason they don't understand that propaganda is real. They think propaganda means that you heard some news that you don't like. They don't understand that the news will lie to you to paste these stories together to create an agenda. They don't understand because they're not looking at it every day. So there's no one there to be like, hey, you should question this information, or you should see some contrast. You know, this is what one person says about an event or a person. Here's what another person says. And then see if these stories match up, you know, and then compare stories versus what your eyes see. They don't understand that that's something they should be doing because they're the victims in the situation. They're the ones consuming the propaganda. And I don't know, it's a mess. It's a mess. I'm doing the best I can to wake them up. You guys got to share out that live. So be happy. Happy freedom. Be happy you can hear a light humming noise. Jamie, didn't you lose your train of thought? You had a Biden moment, I guess. What's up, Nishada? Happy freedom. If they remove him, Camilla will become president. If he doesn't accept the nomination, she won't. Oh, I see, Nishada. Yeah, we'll see when we get there. Zero, they might kill him off. We'll see. Well, President Trump is expected to speak soon. They don't have a second time up, so I imagine he is in the area. We take a gander really quick, but next up we have, despite calls for replacement, Biden's going nowhere. Talking about how America just got to see Biden uncensored for 90 minutes yesterday. But first we're going to check on the Trump rally, see how things are going, because like I said, he's expected to be, he was supposed to be on stage 8 minutes ago. But we'll see where they're at with everything and figure out if we got enough time for this next video. And anything we don't cover, we will be covering after the Trump rally, so don't you worry.
There's a lot of children out there that hear what they hear, but they don't really know what to believe. They're fed a lot of information on every level, and whether it be on the level of the election, whether it be about their sexuality, whether it be about...
Well, sounds like they're just kind of filling time, waiting for President Trump to come out. They don't have another time stamp on there, so I assume it'll be any minute, but we'll get into this next video, and I'll keep an eye on this. That way, if he walks out or anything like that happens, I'll know to switch it over. But we're going to get into this next one here. All right. This one is titled, Despite Calls for Replacement, Biden is Going Nowhere. This individual on the right there believes that they're going to stay with old man Walter, but they're going to describe how eye-opening this was for Americans to witness the debate. So let's go ahead and get this started. Don't forget to hit that like button over on Rumble.
I was floored at how quickly they were calling for another candidate.
Yeah, I was on set last night, obviously watching the debate and watching social media feeds coming in. And you're right, the left was on fire talking about how they're going to replace Biden. And that continued throughout the course of the debate, continued immediately afterwards. But let me just tell you from listening to that till later in the evening, watching CNN at 1 in the morning. Yes, that's what I do. And then getting up this morning, watching Joe and Mika. All of a sudden, you're starting to see a shift. They're on fire, but there's a realization they're stuck with this guy. So they can't go full blown.
You
tell
think
the
so?
truth.
You think they're stuck?
They
you
feel
think there's no
I
chance?
think that everyone, that the Biden folks have put the word out. Joe's going nowhere. So you can go ahead and complain about Joe, but all you're going to do is hurt our chances even more. So Mika was in full protect Joe mode this morning. And now you're starting to say, well, he had a bad night. It was a cold. And what you're seeing is they're going full nuclear on Trump. It's all going to be about how Trump lied, how Trump, was terrible. And you have to understand, the Democrats are stuck right now, and so they're going to start to claw back. But what happened last night is undeniable. The key to this race for both candidates was to make the race about the other candidate. You win an election for president, you win pretty much any election if the issue that you can make the race about is the problems with your opponent. Joe Biden made that an easy thing for Donald Trump to do, not just last night, but going forward. This man is crippled going forward. I don't care how many good performances, if they can get him to have one in the future, he is crippled. And Donald Trump is on his way to the presidency right now, barring something coming up with some problem with him that makes him the focus again.
Kelly, so the media may get a little softer this morning, as Senator Santorum mentioned, but the American people saw this live. So a lot of people who perhaps watch CNN, MSNBC have seen him shielded. They've shielded this president for so long. But for the first time, people got to see how he was for 90 minutes. And it was not good. What do you make of that?
Well, I don't think there'll be a second debate. Right. I didn't think there was going to be a first debate. I said
it was not good.
So I don't think Biden can actually show up, and I don't think his handlers should make him show up because of his obvious cognitive decline. And the left-wing media, the mainstream media, wants to downplay this. They wanted to downplay this. This is a conservative attack. These are people that just want to attack Joe Biden. There is obviously no cognitive decline. Well, last night we saw that for 90 minutes, and I felt sad and depressed. And this is Joe Biden. I knew this was Joe Biden. We've all seen him. We all know what he's like, but I didn't think that he'd take that debate stage last night and debate so poorly. Within the first few minutes, it was obvious. And President Trump, to his credit, did a wonderful job. He was stoic. He sat there, and he also showed sympathy to Joe Biden. There was a time when he was like, I don't know what Joe Biden just said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he does either, but he delivered that line with compassion because none of us did. And so I don't think that Joe Biden will be the top of the ticket. You have Nate Silver saying this morning that Kamala Harris needs to step up. Even though she's deeply unpopular, she still will be a better pick than Joe Biden. I don't think that Joe Biden sees this through to November 5th.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Obviously, it's going to be a bunch of debate news today. We all knew it was going to be that way. Tried to get some stuff that was not debate related, but it reminds me of the Chinese spy balloons. Anytime something like this happens, it just takes over. It's hard to find other stories to talk about. Only time will tell if they're going to replace old man Walter and who they're going to replace him with. They only got 5 months or something like that to get the job done, so we're going to see it sooner than later. I don't know how they're going to win without rigging the shit, because how do you have somebody start campaigning 5 months before the election versus the Orange Eagle, who's been campaigning since the day he left the White House, and then they expect that, the other guy is going to win? No, obviously not. Obviously not. 4 years of preparation versus 5 months of preparation should not, be equal in any kind of way. Obviously not gaining the same amount of votes. So if the other guy wins, game's rigged, So, and we already know it's rigged anyways, so we'll see it when we get there. We're not going to worry about it today. We got 5 months. It's too early to worry about that shit. What's up, Hair Juicer? Happy freedom to you. Appreciate you joining us. Let's see here. What's up, J Spray? Happy freedom. Salty Ragu, is your birthday coming up? I seen you and Russell talking about it. I know Russell's birthday is tomorrow. You guys need to do the birthday thing on your profile. We got a birthday wall over on Hooligans Alley, but you can't get on it if you don't add your birthday in there. And you don't have to put your actual, year or any of that stuff. Just something for fun. It's just for fun. Guess I'm Jay. Chinese spy balloon was actually Whoopi pre-fart. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's why she's got to have those fake dreads all knotted up on her head. It keeps her body laid down to the ground there. It's got weights in the back. You can't see the weights. It's to keep her anchored down. All that hot air she's full of. Oh, we got something going on. I think it's the motorcade. It's almost Trump time. What's up, Cadillacs of Freedom? Happy freedom to you. I want to say hello. Alyssa, the only person who lied and has been lying is Droopy Poopy Biden. You're right. You are right. That's what I think is so funny is they all on Twitter, all the crybabies, they were all saying that Trump's a liar. But then they never said what the lie was. What did he lie about? They're like, well, anyways, da-da-da-da-da. I don't know what that was. I don't know if we missed the motorcade or I don't know what that was. But anyways, I thought we were going to see something cool. Mr. Beansy Beans, I bet the Karens at the very liberal, I bet they all shit their panties. Yeah, that's how it is on Twitter right now. Everybody is mad. Everyone is mad. One way or another. They either think it was a shit show and they didn't treat President Trump fairly, or they're just really mad because they got to see the real Biden and they've been supporting his goofy ass for the last however long. Yeah, I appreciate you, Jay Spray. No worries. Salty Ragu, tomorrow's your birthday. Well, you'll have to stop in so we can say happy birthday, you hooligans. Wayward, Rumble's been working great this week. Glad to hear it, Wayward. Yeah, I wish they wouldn't have got hit with that DDoS attack. Here we go. Let's get this on the screen here. Wham bam, there you go. Motorcade. I can only assume. I can't hear these people. Yeah, I wish Rumble wouldn't have kicked the bucket yesterday. I know for two guys, I'm having a day. For 2 days, I was telling you guys that we were going to be live on Rumble and the website exclusively for the debate, and then literally 15 minutes before the debate started, Rumble they got hit. They got hit from the DDoS attack. We couldn't get anything to work. I still got everything put together, and we were able to watch it, but it ended up being on Kick and jeffmaclive.com, and I appreciate all of you guys that went through the hoops to get an account over there. I've seen a lot of you guys follow for the first time, and I know that you did what it took to make sure you watched the debate, so I appreciate you guys. These technical issues happen, and I can only make the best of it. You never know when it'll occur. These guys are out in the middle of the woods. How long do you think an electric car would run if it had that many lights on it? Just out of curiosity. Too old to care. I listened to the facts they said Trump lied about. He exaggerated at best. Yeah, I didn't even see any examples for what the lies were. They just kept saying that Biden mumbled and Trump lied. But I can't figure out what it is. Snooks. Okay. So it might be go time. President Trump may get out of this motorcade and just walk right up on stage. So that's what we're hanging out to see. Well, we'll see. Either way, we're going to read through the chat while we're hanging out here, figuring out what's going on. I appreciate you, Breeze by You. Sam way out in the I wish a motherfucker woods. Yeah, for real. I don't know. It's probably safe out there. You know, it's probably a lot safer to be in a wooded environment. Usually people who live out in the woods, they got time to be thinking about things. Their brains usually function a lot better than people in cities. Russell, be careful. Sasquatch in those woods. You know Sasquatch is a Trump supporter. You already know. He shows up every 4 years. That's when the sightings occur. He's on his way to and from the voting office to vote for President Trump. That's how it goes. Zero DDoS attack. Who done it? Russia, China, or own government? They usually post it. I don't know if Rumble did this time, but a lot of times they do post it. They can tell where the DDoS attack is coming from. But if I was going to guess anything, it'd be our government. What I think is interesting, though, is that there's always a lot of talk about Rumble being hit because it's a free speech platform. How come Kick didn't get hit? That's the only thing that I can't seem to let go of. How come Kick doesn't get hit with DDoS attacks? You know, we did fine. We did fine on Kick. There was no problems at all. Maybe they're just not as big of a target like Rumble is. Shiny Red Knob, propaganda works by media saturation and repetition. Nazi Handbook Lesson 101. Yeah, Shiny Red Knob, and we watch it every day. We see how it goes. Kevin Bigfoot watches UP. Well, I'm going to start charging him money if that's the case. That's how it goes. That ain't free, okay? This ain't a free peep show. It's not. What's up, Skater Freak? Happy Freedom. Yeah, we were live last night. We weren't able to go live on Kick or on Rumble though. It was not working, and for some people, Rumble is still not working. Like I said on Twitter earlier, there was people saying it just like there's certain features on Rumble that still isn't working in some areas. Alistair, yeah, Kick is a much smaller target, less public. Yeah, that's the only thing I could think of. As far as why Kick didn't get hit with, you know, they weren't attacked by anything for the debate last night. Lisa, animals are safer than humans. Yeah. Yeah, it is safer to be out in the woods as long as there's only animals out there. What's up, Cruz? Happy Freedom. They had no ending statements at the debate. They did ending statements. They both did, and President Trump got the he got the last word. He got the last word. They didn't cut it off. The end was just really weird. The end was really weird. I think they were supposed to play music, and they didn't. So it just did this weird panning thing, and they just stood there like they didn't know what to do, and it was completely silent. But that was after the final statements, because they took a break at 10 o'clock, or no, I think it was 10:30. They took a break and then came back for like 15 minutes, and they let them both speak. President Trump got the last word, and that was it. Then they wrapped it up. I'm still trying to figure out what you were saying to me, Leah. I'm not going to read it out loud because it sounds very explicit. I'm just going to keep that to myself, but still trying to figure it out. No worries, Leah. And I uploaded it to Rumble. I don't know if it's ready yet, but if you guys would like to watch the replay of how we handled the debate last night, I did upload the recording to Rumble so you guys could all watch it if you choose to do so. What's up, U-Town? Happy Freedom. All right, hooligans. So I don't know what's going on with this Trump stuff, but I think we got some time. Get into this next video. If President Trump walks out on stage, I'll do the thing. Don't you worry. But we'll get on to this next one and figure out where we are really quick. This next one is Joe Biden getting escorted off the stage. It's a fairly short video. It's after the debate. You can watch President Trump just simply walk away because he's capable. And Old Man Walter has to have Jill Handler come out and help him down the steps because, you know, him and the steps, they don't have a good relationship. Now, before we get into this, I want to remind you guys, if you would like to join the membership program over on Rumble, all you have to do is click that big red subscribe button right below where you type in the chat. Now, if you're on Android and you're using the Rumble app, you're unable to see the big red subscribe button. So go to rumble.com, come to the live, hop in the chat, and like I said, right below where you type in the chat, you'll see that big red subscribe button. Click that button and jump through the hoops, and your name will be highlighted as an official Rumble hooligan. You'll have access to our custom emojis. We have chapstick emojis, scream and goat emojis, Klaus Daniels emojis, President Trump emojis, and more. It's a lot of fun during a live, especially during a Trump live, so definitely go join the membership program over on Rumble. We're going to get into Old Man Walter needing some help down those steps. Those steps, they get him every time. So we're going to cover this really quick. I am keeping an eye on what's going on with President Trump and all of that, so don't worry. But once again, this is Old Man Walter being helped down the stairs. Now, it's really quick, but you can see the boom arm from the suspended camera. You can see the two candidates, and you'll watch President Trump right in the beginning of the video walk off to the left of the screen, and then from that point on, we're just watching Old Man Walter represent us in a really poor way.
Presidents making their way off the CNN debate stage. Looks like Jill Biden, the First Lady, has come out. Former President Trump walking off the stage. The first debate of the 2024 campaign.
Look at him shuffling back and forth. They don't know what to do. Jill is pushing him a little bit.
What those voters might make of it from our political professionals, from our CNN flash poll, and swing states.
Sidestepping down the stairs.
Getting fact checks from our Daniel Dale and new reporting from inside both campaigns. With me here, CNN political commentator Scott Jennings, Kate Bedingfield, David Urban, Van Jones, Alyssa Parker.
And then Jill went up there to the next guy she'll be making out with on TV.
National correspondent John King. John, let me start with you. Your thoughts. Former presidents making their way off the CNN debate.
So anyways, that was Old Man Walter post-debate yesterday. All the people thinking, you know, oh, he won. He did great things. This guy can't even defeat the stairs. Like, can't even win against the stairs. So, either way, I just want to make sure you guys saw that. Old Man Walter looking frailer than you thought. Holy, let me turn this down a little bit. Cadillacs, Jill is a bitch, period. Well, thank you, Cadillacs. I agree. I agree. She's the one shoving Joe around. She's the one making him do all this stuff. And she's also she does way too much speaking. She goes out and does all these public speeches like she was elected or something, and I don't like it. I don't like it. She's not the president. I don't even think Old Man Walter is the president, but she's definitely not the president and has no business speaking or forcing him to do anything or speaking for him in any kind of way. Like, she needs to go on somewhere. She's the helicopter wife, you know. She's hovering, but of course she's doing this because she's his handler. They need something done. They need Joe to say yeah to being, you know, to stepping down. They're going to ask Jill. Jill's going to go over there and stick the cables to him. Like, listen, you're going to say yes to this. You're going to agree to step down. And he'll do it. He'll do it, you know. Jill Handler, she's in control. We're going to read through the chat really quick. Next up, if we don't see President Trump stepping on stage, we have a win from SCOTUS. They are ruling that the J6 rioter whatever are improperly charged under the obstruction statute. So any J6ers that are facing obstruction charges, those charges are likely to be dropped. And if that is their only charge, those people should be released from being incarcerated for the first time in 4 years or however long. And it is totally against their 8th Amendment right for cruel and unusual punishment to be imprisoned this long for charges that are misdemeanors. Most of them are misdemeanors. Misdemeanors are usually about 90 days in jail and a $500 fine. So to do more than that is cruel and unusual, and hopefully they get some good lawyers or something happens to where they can get some compensation. Now, the bad part about being locked up longer than you should be is that you will never get those days back. They can't add those days onto your lifeline. They took that from you. Now, they might be able to give you some money or something, and that's great, but they took those days from you. And I feel bad for those J6ers because a lot of them are being charged with misdemeanors, and they're sitting in prison right now in inhumane conditions. So hopefully they are given a large lump sum at some point in the future, and they deserve a fucking apology from the White House or something on top of it. But we'll see how it goes. We're going to read through the chat a little bit, keeping an eye on the Trump rally, and we may be moving on to this next video. We'll see how it goes. Russell, Biden's not stepping down on his own. No, I think he'll be coerced or forced, one or the other. Breeze by you, I don't understand how Jill is allowed to do that shit. Yeah, and it's weird. Like, it's real weird. She just comes out and starts, calling the shots, and everybody agrees with it. You see Secret Service or other White House personnel, and they're just, oh, this is what you want? Okay, we'll do that. And it's like, she doesn't run anything. I don't understand. But we also don't get to see the side of Jill that we know is there. That wretched old woman. I got a picture right here. You could tell by her body language that she is nice and cunty. Let me find an image here. Right here. Right here. I bet this is the part of the White House, or this is the part of Jill that the White House gets to see, is this. You can't tell me this woman doesn't sound like nails on a chalkboard. So in the beginning, there was probably a lot of questioning going on. They're like, hey, lady, you don't run shit around here. Why are you bossing us all around? And then her voice starts cracking and cackling, and they're like, all right. 4 years in, they're like, oh, Jill's here. And they all start tucking their tails and shit. SMJ, doesn't that make Jill an escort service? Oh, yeah. She's definitely running an escort service. Mr. Beans CNN clowns were doing facts and figures after the debate. Oh, my God. Yeah, see, and that's what I wanted to turn away from. That's why we didn't cover the post-debate nonsense, is because I figured they were going to be worrying about fact-checking and stuff. I just didn't realize there was going to be all the crying, that they were going to accept that President Biden, I can't believe I just said that, the old man Walter was doing shit. I didn't think that. I thought they were going to be like, oh, he did a great job. I didn't know they were going to be like, wow, he really shit the bed. Like, I didn't know he was going to do that. I'm sitting here eyeballing this Trump rally here. It's looking like people are getting active, but I can't tell. Let me put this on the screen so you can see what I'm seeing. I'm thinking it's going to be soon. Matt probably throws stuff at the staff like Hillary did. Yeah. Well, and the staff has already complained that old man Walter is screaming and mad and yelling at them and calling them names, the staff at the White House and all of that. So I'm sure Jill's right there with it too. Breeze by you, right? I thought they would totally gaslight. Yeah, and that's why I assume. That's why we didn't cover the CNN post-debate. It's because that's exactly what I expected. They were just going to gaslight the entire situation. Mike T. Ratchet. Rashid. Yeah, she's something else. I bet she is a wicked woman behind closed doors. Fury. You can see the fury in her face. Like, no. Tap at Jill's a hooker. Mm-hmm.
Prostitute.
Yes. Pumpkin, no wonder Joe looks scared all the time. Yeah, and did you see Joe's face in that picture? He was just gone. Just gone. Just brain in the sky. Wayward, Hillary in a mask. Could be. I wouldn't be surprised. All the body doubles. What's up, Lone Wolf? Happy Freedom. That's a hell of a screenshot right there. Yeah, it is. Pumpkin, Walter might leave for 10%. Yep. Let me see.
Someone who has endless count.
I thought they were playing a video. So I do want to say that we are not going to show the Trump rally on YouTube. Snooks asked me about this and I totally forgot until right this second. If you are watching on YouTube and you want to watch the Trump rally, you're going to have to come to either Twitch, Kick, Rumble, or jeffmaclive.com. We're also live on Twitter. But if I'm going to get a strike over on YouTube, I want it to be for my own mouth, not for what President Trump says. And YouTube hates President Trump. And so we're not going to be showing the Trump rally on YouTube. So you got a little bit of time. You want to use that Linktree link and make your way off the communist platform. Got some time. Utown, where's Hunter? It's a great question. He was all up in the news. You know, he was going to be held in contempt of Congress. He's being charged with felonies, all this stuff. Gone. Don't even hear about it anymore. Everybody forgot. Just like the mummified alien remains, everyone just forgot. Curtain closed. How are we going to get out of this? We just have to see how things are going to go. That's it. We just have to see how things are going to go. Vote in November. And if things go left, well, there's always getting really mad. Unite and get mad. Chaplain, Jill is a gold digger. Oh, yeah. That's why she's hopping from dude to dude in the White House. She's over there kissing Hyena Harris's husband and all that. I wish this stupid emoji shit on YouTube was not in the middle of the chat where I can't read what the hell you guys are saying. What can I do to fix this? I'm trying to figure out what you're saying, find it, fix it, but the damn hearts are in the way. Or whatever this is. Live reactions. Let's turn this bullshit off. Come on, do the thing. There we go. That's his... Now I can't even read the word. Senility? I don't know what you're saying. Find it, fix it. Old man Walter. Oh, being senile, screaming out. Yeah. Well, he's glitching. And we saw him last week, I think it was, where he just stammered off a sentence or two that just didn't make sense. He was talking and then he kind of turned. It was just like, and then snapped out of it. And it's like, those are signs that he's near the end. Like, he's near the end of the timeline there. And so, yeah, I imagine we're going to continue to watch him decline, but eventually they're going to replace him. And I think people won't even think about him anymore. And he'll just go off and die in the dark somewhere, and people aren't even going to wonder. They're just going to be like, worried about the new guy. That's what I think anyways. And that they should get off their lazy asses and get over to the website ASAP. I agree, Ed. True story. Here, Juice, I got a strike on YouTube last night for posting a critique of NBC's fact-checking the debate. Yeah, Hair Juicer. And the censorship is going to ramp up. Between now and November, it is going to ramp up. The more we all get involved in politics and make memes, and they want to call them cheap fakes. The cheap fake thing is the cue. That's how you know. They're like, oh, no, cheap fakes. And they're like, well, what is a cheap fake? And they're like, oh, it's to manipulate the election. Oh, okay. Well, what are we going to do about it? They're like, we're going to pay attention. Oh, so you're now going to pay attention to all of our media. Okay. That was them pointing at us being like, let the censorship begin now. And so we're going to see everything start cracking down a little bit harder than what it has been for the last 4 years. And it'll lead all the way up till November. And then all of a sudden the rules will change. It's just the way it goes. Been playing this game a while now. What's up, V? Happy freedom to you. Appreciate you joining us. Well, if everybody's diddy bopping around and stuff, I can only assume President Trump isn't ready. So we might as well just get into this next video because it is a good one. And I'll keep an eye on that, of course. This next one's actually the last of our news videos for the day. It's titled SCOTUS Rules Jan 6 Rioter Improperly Charged Under Obstruction Statute. And then it talks about how pretty much any of the J6ers that are being hit with obstruction, there's a good chance that those charges are going to be dropped. And if that's the only charge that, you know, that individual may be facing, they should be released because they're no longer being charged with anything. So anyways, we're going to hop right into that. Once again, SCOTUS Rules J6 Rioter Improperly Charged Under Obstruction Statute.
I want to get to the Supreme Court, and now breaking news on one of the big decisions we've been waiting for, and this was obstruction when it pertains to January 6th and the rioters at the Capitol on that day. The High Court now siding with the protesters, the rioters that day, essentially saying it's going to be hard to charge Capitol riot defenders with obstruction. That was a charge also faced by former President Trump. Want to go to Tom Dempsey standing by outside the Supreme Court with more on this decision. I know we're just getting it, so we're digesting where the votes fell and the opinion is. What more do we know about this case and what the High Court is saying, Tom?
Hey, Marnie. Yeah, this was one of the more notable ones we were waiting on, and it literally came down just about 60 seconds ago. A 6-3 vote. The conservative justices on the majority, the more liberal-leaning justices in the minority on this one. And like you said, this makes it harder to charge the defendants connected to the January 6th event here at the Capitol building. Again, it significantly weakens that obstruction charge that has been levied against some of these defendants. To give some context to this case for our viewers, hundreds of people have been charged with this obstruction of an official proceeding charge in connection to January 6th. And there were some very big questions that were raised over, that this law applies to things like investigations and inquiries, but does it apply to obstructing things like certifying an election? There were some very big questions about all that. And it was a Pennsylvania police officer who, where this case stems from, who has been charged in connection to January 6th. So he and his legal team, they were able to bring this case all the way to the Supreme Court. And again, this is a victory for this defendant and his legal team. And this could impact hundreds of cases of January 6th defendants, among them, Marnie, former President Donald Trump. So it's going to be really interesting to see what sort of official fallout we see from this. Again, to recap, a 6-3 vote. The conservative justices in the majority on this one ruling to kind of weaken this obstruction charge and making it harder to charge January 6th defendants. And again, this could impact hundreds of January 6 cases. And again, some of them, one of the people that this could impact is former President Donald Trump. So again, this is still very much coming in right now. This was one of the very big cases. And again, this revolved around whether or not an obstruction of an official proceeding charge, whether it was too broad to put that up against January 6th defendants in this case. And the Supreme Court ruling that, yes, it is a little broad. And again, this is going to make it tougher to charge January 6 defendants in connection to this obstruction charge. So again, some big fallout from this, and I think it's going to be really fascinating to see just how this impacts former President Donald Trump's election interference case, because I believe some of the charges connected to that trial with the former president are connected to this Supreme Court case. And if it makes it tougher, we could see some sort of impact to former President Trump's case, Marty.
Yeah, the decision, Tom, could fuel claims of political retribution from both Trump and also his Republican allies. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com.
Well, we'll see how they roll it out. I'm kind of surprised. Well, maybe we are, because that was pretty new when I started the live. But I was going to say, I'm pretty surprised that we're not hearing people screaming and crying about that, because, you know, they say that J6 was worse than 9/11. You know, oh, I forgot YouTube's fucking watching. Well, whatever's whatever. Like I said, if my mouth gets me in trouble, that's different. But anyways, if they think it was that bad, then they must be pretty pissed off about hearing this ruling from the Supreme Court. As I said, I haven't had a chance to dig through Twitter or anything to see what people are screaming and crying about, but I bet they are. Between the debate last night and the Supreme Court doing that ruling, blue team's got to be getting mad. I'm sure they're getting their piss bottles ready and their Molotov cocktails and stuff, because it's almost riot season. Sitting here waiting on President Trump. Not sure what to expect. A lot of people are still on their feet, so I assume it's going to be close. I was seeing Secret Service walking around too. Usually when you see Secret Service on the scene, it ain't going to be too long. I don't know. They look fired up though. I wonder what the weather is. Where is it at? I think I got the location wrote down. Nope, that was the debate. I'll have to figure out the location. I think they're in Virginia. I wonder what the weather is there. Looks nice and sunny. Sam, you crack me up. I'm telling you guys, are missing out if you're not on the website. Some Jay, you crack me up with that meme. Russell, how'd you get that picture of me? What's up, Sappa? Happy freedom. Zupia, I don't understand how they can rule right on this, but turn the other way on free speech. SCOTUS needs to get their shit together and call everything properly. I agree, Zupia. I agree. I don't know how they can side with the government contacting social media to allow them, to pull down content, to basically back up Section 230 and say, oh, yeah, no, that's totally within the Constitution for the White House to say who they like and don't like and force social media to participate. Like, I don't understand how they came up with that ruling. That doesn't make any sense to me. Colonias, but they don't know what a woman is. Yeah, exactly. And, and that's what I was saying when they ruled on the White House reaching out to social media companies, is lefties always talk about the Supreme Court like it's the President Trump clubhouse. Like they just enforce Trump's goals, in the Supreme Court. But then shit like this happens and it's like, what? Where's all the lefties at now? Because obviously this stuff is not conservative. It's not what President Trump, is not in a line with what President Trump says. So, anytime this, Roe versus Wade, oh, well, all the Trump, judges, this, that, and the other, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, what about this other shit then? What about trampling our free speech and all of that? Well, they ain't got nothing to say about that. And it's like, it's par. That's par for blue team. Just always talking that shit. Just don't ever know when to shut the fuck up. And it's because we stopped making those punches great again. You got to make those punches in the face great again so they can remember why you don't talk out of your ass. Like, you don't have to lie about everything. Not everything is bullshit, But just like when President Trump and Biden were debating yesterday, all Biden said was, every time Trump spoke, Biden's, that didn't happen. That's not true. Because they can't compete. They can't compete. They can't have conversations. There's no real debating with a lefty. It doesn't happen. They scream and cry and call names because their life isn't based off facts. So you start bringing those facts up, well, they got to squeeze that man pawn out and yell at you a little bit, and it's fucking bullshit. Elisa, it's 84 here today in Chesapeake. Oh, you're out there? You're awesome. Thank you, Elisa. Appreciate you. 84. It's not too bad, but it's pretty hot. It's pretty hot to be sitting on the bleachers. I know that. They got to be so excited to see President Trump. Screaming Eagle, it doesn't take much to piss off a bunch of commies. You're not wrong. They hate freedom. They hate it. What's up, Moose Girl? Happy freedom. Kevin, the government came out and said UFOs are real and we don't know where they come from, and nobody batted an eye. Yeah, Kevin. Well, the Pentagon came out and said that there was a mothership in our universe or in our galaxy. I can't remember which one they said. I think they said inside of our universe, and they thought it was deploying drones to monitor us. Okay. And then they never said anything else about it. It was like, oh, all right, well, that's cool. I don't know. Screaming Eagle, better be pissed off than pissed on. Well, it depends on who you are, but in most cases, yeah. I mean, if she's real cute, nah, you stop that. You stop that. Calm her down. It's waiting on President Trump. Retro, will Biden be Clintoned? We'll see. Because I don't think they're going to let him just wander off. I'm still waiting to see what they're going to do with Julian Assange. You know, they didn't let him just walk away. Something, I don't know. Unless he really has their number, I don't think they're going to let him walk away. And same thing with Old Man Walter. To me, it's gang mentality. You don't get to leave the gang. You know too much. And you could go and start your own shit and be competition and this, that, and the other. Nope. That's why they do away with you. There is no leaving the gang. And the White House and all of their comrades out there, they're very gang-like. So if they decide to do away with Old Man Walter, they won't just cast him away. They'll finish the job, I'm sure. They're a bunch of bastards. Ant Farm, bad news is Thomas Massey's wife died yesterday. Who is that? Ant Farm. Ooh, Sam, 91 there. You better be keeping it cool. Guess some J. People really miss out not being on the site. Yeah. Well, they don't know until they get there. You know, they show up on the site and they're like, oh, open your eyes right up. Yep. Alyssa, I've been saying it's the aliens. It's got to be. It's got to be the damn aliens. Oh, Sam, 95 is the high for tomorrow. Cooking. Gonna be cooking. Kevin's 57 where you are. That's not too bad. I like it when it's cool like that. I think it's gonna be a hot one today. That's why I had the fans on. What are we looking at here? Got a million notifications on my phone. 65 right now. High is 66 today. Low is 64. Last night it got down to 50 degrees here or something like that. It's fine with me. I'm a polar bear. I ain't worried about it. I prefer for it to be cold, not hot, but I don't like the snow. You know, problems. Normal times, the truth is out there. The truth is right here. Zero, you shown Thomas Massey? Who is it, though? Like, what is he from? I just can't remember. I'm not good with names like that. You got to be like this one guy from this one place. I'm like that with actors, too, you know. He played this one guy in that one movie. I'm like, oh, yeah, I know who that is. Like, who's Tom Cruise? Like, I don't fucking know. I'm just not good with names like that. Mr. Beans Beans, favorite temp here is 69. Yeah, see, and that's what I'm saying. Right about 69 degrees is favorable. Chesh, you're looking at 106 right now. Holy. That is too much. It's too much. I'd feel lawless at that point. Like, well, we're all gonna die. It's time to just act like an asshole. Lisa, humidity was 100% this morning. Whew, I don't like that. The humidity makes me feel suffocated. Alyssa, you're looking at 87 in North Carolina. Yeah, it's pretty warm. You guys are cooking compared to me. Mad Lion, 102 in Vegas. That's not bad for Vegas, though, right? Don't you guys get like crazy temperatures in Vegas? I mean, it's still too hot for me, but I've never felt that dry heat. One day I will. Take some time off or something. I don't think I could. I don't think I could take time off and not feel like a total guilty piece of shit. Even Sunday I feel that way. What's up, Eric? Happy freedom. Kevin, 20 degrees is 69. Yeah. Sounds just about right. Lisa, heat wave and a drought. Jeez, getting the twofer. Chesh Massey is the rep from Kentucky. Leah, it's hot as hell there. Snooks is hot. I'm gonna look up Massey. You guys are like, come on, man. You know who the fuck that is? It's like, I can't figure it out. Just having a Biden moment or some shit. Let me figure this out. Massey. Thomas Massey. He's an American businessman, engineer, and politician who has been the United States representative for Kentucky's 4th Congressional District since 2012. Mm-hmm. Yes. I recognize his face, but I don't know. I don't know nothing about nothing. Ooh, is it almost Orange Eagle season? Fucking YouTube's gonna make me cut that part out of the live. Well, something's happening. It looks like maybe Don Jr. walking in. I don't know who that is. Somebody's walking in. They're getting excited. I know that. Can you hear me? Yeah, we're good. Thought I muted myself for a second. We're getting there. And we've covered all our news for the day, by the way. All we have left is our funny video of the day, and I would prefer to use it after the Trump live. We'll see how it goes, though. If he waits much longer, we'll just get right into it. And then this most likely is going to push back our voice chat. Oh, it's gotta be. Oh, it's go time. All right, it's go time. If you're over on YouTube, leave the platform because we can't show this over there. Use the Linktree link in the description, or maybe Snooks will post it for you. But make your way over to either Twitch, Kick, Rumble, jeffmaclive.com, or Twitter because it is Trump time.